Welcome back to the 5G Hack Them All summer course at Aalto University. Today we have the afternoon discussion around the education and the upskilling. I discussed with Professor Taina Tukiainen from Aalto University and serial entrepreneur Petri Saarinen. So, what do you think about the Finnish education system or how we have done so far?
Of course, thank you so much, by the way, inviting to this session. It's wonderful to be here together with you. So you asked about Finnish education system. So of course, I mean, so far Finland is known about education. It's one of the leading example in the world, especially in the basic education, child care, child education, and then in the education, primary education. And also it's actually known in the university education, and of course our internationalization is one of the key issues. The Finland has put huge emphasis and resources in 90s and onwards on research and education, and that's the way. Lifelong learning is of course the issue which is now coming in the whole Europe, but especially Finland, because we are becoming older and we are needing also the capabilities like digitalization, 5G, which are like basic capabilities. Already we know that children in the childcare, they can even actually, do broadcasting, they do their live streaming, they do, the things like that. So I think that it's the older generation which is actually a little bit behind if you are thinking digitalization. But of course in digitalization as well, we are in Finland leading example, and we should actually, continue that path, that we will be in the top category in the future.
So Petri, what is your experience about the Finnish education? So you have background in number of continents. So how you would compare the Finnish education system and the other ones?
Well, my perspective here is that obviously I've studied in Latin America, I've studied in French schooling systems, I've studied in Middle East in an American schooling system, and in Finnish schooling system. So I think within every schooling system there are some really good practical methods that should be also applied and actually have been applied into Finnish schooling system. Some things that I've learned since 70s. So they've become a principle in Finland in just 10 years or something like that. But what I would say about Finnish education is that where Finland is good is that we're teaching people how to execute well, and that's part of the Finnish society, that we are very good in executing and making things happen. Within a decade we've actually become more of a problem-solving nation, and that's an area where we should kind of more focus on building our kind of knowledge on how to solve problems, and that would also kind of bring the topic that I like to talk about Finland, is that we don't have enough problems here in Finland, so that we need more problems to be able to educate people for solving global problems, and that's kind of my mission, is that I might want to create problems here.
Yeah, so we have this summer course going on. We have the challenge-based view we utilize. We have invented some problems, or the companies or organizations have provided the challenges for the students over the 2 weeks period. So we very much like this idea, starting from the real case or real world challenges and figuring out what would be the solutions for that. So how about the technology education? So now we are in the 5G Hack Them All summer course. Very much looking forward to speed up the learning of technology and especially applying it. So what do you think about the technology education in Finland?
That has been actually, I mean, in the high level, if we are talking about technology, maybe the issue is that actually we need diversity. We need to take children with, we need to take women with, we need to take actually a different kind of the minorities with. You were talking about these problems and challenges. If we want to solve the problem and challenges, we need the whole society. And that's maybe our a little bit issue, that actually technology is actually, let's call it white man's, young white man's, I mean, a kind of priority now. Mm-hmm. But it should be actually the whole society's priority. And it should be like that actually people who have those problems, they are part of solving those problems. And that actually needs a visibility, that needs the people certain understanding. But then also we need to be very taking care of the people, and taking care and responsibility is also the issue, which comes also in the technology as an issue, because if we don't take that, then we don't get that actually visibility, we don't get that market, even that market share that we are targeting. 5G is targeting heavily that it will change the world. It has a huge market share, but the market share is coming in that way that actually the whole society is taking with. And that's the challenge today.
How about you, Petri? So what do you? Yeah, obviously, 5G is a very good buzzword at the moment for creating initiatives, such as Starnord is now doing with Aalto University and the other universities with the summer course. But obviously, the 5G is only one part of the medium of providing future solution, and obviously the big picture is obviously that we're building a universal supply chain system here, and that's basically what 5G is, and the next generation of networks is that we need to build a universal supply network, whether it's for providing education, whether it's providing services, or distributing data. It's a kind of global challenge at the moment to really connect the world. So at the same time, we have the challenge with the existing internet that it's basically breaking down. So the question is that can we actually solve these kind of problems with 5G networks and terrestrial networks, combining 5G networks and terrestrial satellite networks to build actually a universal supply system, and that's basically, and why I'm saying the supply system here is that economy is what basically makes the world go around, and obviously also in this perspective we have to think about kind of universal values. How do we make business? Does it have to be sustainable all the time? Do we take SDGs as a principle of building this kind of digitalized universal supply chain or network? And so there's a lot of discussion topics that we have to talk within the whole society.
Yeah, so that sounds good. So prior to Dave, so we have heard that now let's not talk about the next generation mobile technology. Let's talk about the next generation, let's say the development or phase of the development rather than technology by itself. In the beginning of the day, in the morning, Matti Mannanen was like talking about how the whole industries are now restructuring in a way remote work becomes part of it. Companies or corporations need to make like plan Bs, have like double teams of everything to certain things, and now what you mentioned about the, let's say, the new type of the communication system and information system, so that sounds like there is room for that. I don't know how that sounds to you. Like next generation of communication and of course the education which is equally provided or available.
Yeah, I think so. If we are looking now the Corona times, actually, of course, it's sad that actually we cannot meet face to face so much. But actually, the positive thing is that actually these digital systems, they have boomed. So everybody is using Zoom, everybody is using Teams, everybody is using, it does not matter what the system is, but digitally connecting to the global world, and that's maybe something which we hope that stays, that we communicate. I mean, that's kind of regular thing that we use the different digital tools to communicate, I mean, globally. Of course, we need also to face-to-face meetings, and we need to travel as well. I mean, that's obvious, but actually many things like a normal meetings we can definitely do, I mean, via remote systems, and it's even more productive, and then it keeps our time so that, I mean, we can use our time more productive things, I mean, when we are meeting.
To solve challenges.
Solve challenges, SDGs and global challenges. And that's, by the way, where the Finns are already also the leading example, because we are, as a Finns, I mean, the nation that actually are contributing to the other nations the most, based on the United Nations statistics. So we need to keep on going, I mean, and continue actually to solve these global challenges.
So one of the philosophies behind the Start Nord is really to utilize the summertime here in the north to make it the education more available and across the disciplines and the silos of the society. And now, not like having heard that the education system is still very national based, or like based on the country's cultural code, and now we look for global education system which is needed for the big challenges we have in the world.
Definitely, and congratulations. Of course, the young people are the leading examples. I mean, they travel, they go everywhere. I mean, you did it. I mean, I did it in my time, you did it in your time. But actually, I mean, if we are looking this generation, which are here, so they are doing even more internationally. So that's a very positive thing. It's actually, I mean, wonderful, because, I mean, we need, even for the local challenges, we need the people who understand the global issues, global networks. I mean, how to scale it globally, and many things. You know, there's a certain element which is local, where you can even make the businesses, but actually you need to understand the big picture, and the next generation will be, I mean, totally in the different phase.
So now we are talking about the education system is more broadly as well, especially how the university level might change in the coming years, and really looking forward for this very discipline-based view which is needed for a certain level, but then how we utilize that knowledge for the common goals and goods. So what do you think about the progress of education or university education? How you see how it's going to develop in the coming years?
But definitely there is lots of room to be better, and lots of room for the multidisciplinary, I mean, studies. Still, actually, very many degrees are pretty one discipline based or couple of discipline based. There should be the flexibility, agility, so that students may choose. Of course, you need to have the certain understanding so that you get the degree, but I think that there is lots of room for more agile, more flexible systems. And of course, I mean, it does not mean that, I mean, it's easier, the degrees. I think so it's even more, I mean, demanding if you need to show it internationally, your capabilities. So show it also your capabilities in the real life challenges. So that's still actually an issue in educational systems, as well as this lifelong learning, so that how to, I mean, to keep it and maintain it, I mean, so your capabilities, I mean, in the longer run, because, I mean, we all know that we need to renew our capabilities, I mean, all the time. So it needs to be like a mindset to study more, and then you actually travel and work internationally to actually to renew it, your capabilities.
So it's kind of new lifestyle of living and learning at the same time.
Yeah.
So Petri, you mentioned earlier that there is the, let's say, quite aggressive talent hunt over the world at the moment for those people who know more about the 5G technology and can apply it. So how would you describe the situation concerning the 5G people and people who are very aware of that topic?
Yeah, well, there is a global demand definitely for people who have experience, who have educational background on 5G networks or IoT networks or 6G networks. So obviously there is a high demand from Asia. There is the kind of a gap in Europe within a number of countries and regions where there is both lack of people for academic research, but also for corporate research and corporate product development in this area. So there is a global kind of call at the moment from a lot of the big corporations all over the world that they're actually really looking on people that need to get educated on kind of the 5G networks and next generation IoT networks and so on. So definitely there is big demand, and obviously it's a HR issue. So obviously this is also a challenge for Finland to convert and to get both international and national people to be educated in this field. And we of course need the diversity of having also female people within the progress and development.
So we can see as in discussion that this kind of summer course can be kind of place to find talent for 5G needs, or the needs for the companies and organizations looking for the talent.
Definitely. I mean, this is the must to have these kind of courses international. So
Yes.
good luck.
Thank you very much for this discussion, and let's continue with the program now. So next we are going to have the visitors from Digita, one of the challenge providers of this summer school as well. And let's have now 5 minutes break and come back soon.